It's the end of the year and you are broke again. And this is not the first time you have been here. Being broke at this time of year is kinda your thing, isn't it? And you know what? You are getting older and broker, assuming you can use that word in that context. This just cannot continue. You don't want to retire broke, my rock stars, do you? And having children as your retirement plan is not a good idea, especially these younger kids these days. So that said, I think it's so important for you to pay keen attention to these 10 simple steps to build wealth from absolutely nothing starting today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you get that pay increase, not when you marry that rich man, not when you get your tax returns, and not when you get to 40 because you're thinking right now you're still young and you have enough time. Listen to me, my rock stars. Brokenness nah keep again. Abundance is what we say on this channel because there's absolutely no happiness in living hand to mouth. Welcome back to the channel, my YouTube family, my rock stars. It's such a beautiful day today, so I decided to come to you from the great outdoors. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you coming back, and I truly appreciate your loyalty. Now remember that there are scammers in the comments. They're gonna use my face and they're gonna ask you to WhatsApp them or Telegram them. Be very careful because they have been successful scamming a few persons, which is very unfortunate. That said, class is now in session. Now, the great thing about the first step that I'm going to share to building wealth is it's something that you are able to benefit from just by watching the Rockstar Academy here on this YouTube channel. And it is one of the foundational steps to building wealth and living in abundance. And it is gaining financial literacy. Now, many of you have expressed in the comments based on what I share on this channel, and you have said things like, "Oh, Odetta, I wish you had started a YouTube channel 10 years ago because what you're talking about, if I had known that then, I would be much better off from a financial perspective." And while I'm truly humbled by your comment and believe that it could actually help in some instances, the great thing, my rock stars, is that it's never too late. I have in-laws, as I've said many times on this channel, that are up and about in their 90s. So unless you too are in your 90s, you do have time to achieve your greatest financial aspirations. But in order to do so, you must gain the basic knowledge as it pertains to how you manage your money. What many of us don't realize is that our mindset is usually the first thing that needs to change before we can even approach any large transformational goals that we have set for ourselves in this life. And as such, the first step to building wealth from nothing is to revamp your mindset. And to do that, you need to invest time in gaining financial education. There are some basic things that you need to be familiar with. Terms like income, expenditure, net worth, return on investment, or ROI, passive income, which is synonymous with making money while you sleep, and financial independence for now. There are other terms, but those will give you a good start. So if you don't know what those terms mean, right now is a good time to pause the video, go research them. But if you have been watching my content for a while, you should have a good grasp on the definition of those terms. But if not, go and check them out and come back, because I'm going to be referencing them, and that's going to be your first exercise to gaining financial education. Now, there are many ways to gain financial literacy. You can subscribe and watch videos like the ones that are shared on this Rockstar Academy, which reminds me, if you have not liked this video yet, I would appreciate you doing so. And like I always say, if you get to the end and you think this is a lot of bull doo-doo, then you can unlike the video, and I'm okay with that. And if you're not yet a rock star, just hit that subscribe button and let's rectify that problem right now, because I'm looking forward to welcoming you to our family. Now, in addition to watching videos on my channel, there are many other content creators out there who are also sharing financial advice. Here is my one rule of thumb. Be very careful of taking advice from people who are not where you want to be or who have not achieved what you're trying to achieve. How can you tell me how to be rich if you are not rich? What's stopping you from achieving what you're trying to teach me how to do? So outside of YouTube and getting advice from those persons who consider themselves knowledgeable from a financial literacy perspective, there are also podcasts out there. There are many books, and I'm going to put a list of the books that I've read that's taught me how to manage money in the description below this video so that you can check them out. You can also take courses that teach financial education. But remember, when you enroll in these courses, if you are not prepared to take the steps that are being suggested, the likelihood that you're going to succeed will be very minimal and you're going to waste your money. So if you know you're not good at following through, it's probably a good idea to find a less expensive way to gain financial literacy. Now, one thing that I want you to keep in mind is that, like any other education out there, financial education also needs to be continuous. You should never stop learning. And the great thing is that there's always someone out there who knows something that you don't know and oftentimes are willing to share. Now, the second critical step to building wealth is to create multiple streams of income. And listen, my rock stars, I've beaten this one to death on this channel. How many times have I said to you that thou shalt not have one stream of income? Many of us have or have had a 9-to-5 job. That's one stream of income. I don't know of many people who have achieved wealth from a 9-to-5 job. And I always use the same example of Tim, but guess what? He's a CEO of Apple, but he's also a primary shareholder. So those are his other streams of income. So I cannot think of anyone that I know that built wealth from nothing with just one stream of income. So if that was your grand plan, you need to scrap it and you need to go back to the drawing board and you need to identify different ways to earn money. Make sure that you have a good balance of active and direct income and also passive income, because it's very difficult to make money within the specified 24 hours that we all have in our day. We are going to find that we're going to run out of time. By diversifying your type of income streams to direct and active versus passive, it means that regardless of what you're doing throughout your day, you still have money coming in. There's nothing greater to me than hearing my phone ping, which by the way, it should be on vibrate right now. And when I look at it, I'm smiling, because I just got a PayPal alert, or I just got an alert in Payoneer, or I just got an alert somewhere else for something that I'm making money from online. Earning money while you sleep or earning passive income will be critical to building wealth from nothing. And multiple streams of income leads me into the third point, which I just shared a bit on, but I need to talk about it in and of itself, and it is earning passive income. You cannot keep trading time for money and expect to build wealth from a state of being broke. It is Warren Buffett who said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. No joke, my rock stars. Now, there are two types of passive income. There is investment passive income and non-investment passive income. For investment passive income, this is when your money does all the work. It works for you without you doing anything whatsoever. With non-investment passive income, you either do some work up front or you do a little bit of work on the side. Now, we're going to talk more about investment passive income that makes money for you later on. So right now, we're going to talk about the passive income where you need to do a few things on the side to make money. Listen, my rock stars, in today's global and digital economy, there are many opportunities out there to earn money on the side. And it's exactly why I talk about so many side hustles on this YouTube channel. That said, you have to be very careful of get-rich-quick schemes and Ponzi schemes as you're exploring opportunities to make extra money on the side. And at the same time, you have to balance that out, because one of the things I've often said is that the rich get richer because the poor thinks that every opportunity is a scam. So on one hand, you have to be mindful of scams, but on the other hand, when you hear something sometimes that you think, oh my God, this is too good to be true. For example, in this video, I shared information about selling your poop, your feces, your number twos, and I'm sure hearing it for the first time, you're thinking,
oh my goodness, this is a scam.
But it is reputable companies that's paying you for this, and there's a good reason why they're doing so in the name of science, and it is proven to be something that's in demand and becoming an industry in and of itself. So while you are there thinking,
oh, that sounds like a scam,
the rich is getting richer because they're capitalizing on not necessarily that example, but on other things that most persons who are not wealthy think is a scam. Just do your homework. Typically, if you invest a little bit more time in gaining more knowledge, you'll be able to figure out whether it's a scam or it's something that's genuine, that is a good way to make money on the side. Now, some of the examples, and I alluded to some of these earlier, is selling digital products. You guys know by now that I sell a budget on my website, Odetta Rocket Car, and that's the budget that has helped me to completely revolutionize my finances in a positive way. So many persons have told me that that template has helped them to significantly curb their spending habits. You can figure out what it is that has helped you create a digital product with that and make it available online for sale. You can develop courses, you can write a book, you can also have paid webinars. Just find a topic that will interest people and add value to their life, and set up a Zoom session and charge people to attend. The big advantage of using a digital product to help build wealth from nothing is the fact that you only create it once and you keep earning from it in perpetuity, which makes it an excellent passive income earner. Another side hustle or business that you can do on the side that's semi-passive or that's passive but requires some amount of effort up front is blogging. And you wouldn't begin to believe how blogging pays well. Just figure out what you want to talk about, post it, and once you start generating some amount of traffic on your blogs, all you need to do is to monetize it through Google AdSense. You can also, in your blog, recommend affiliate links, recommend digital products, and offer paid memberships or benefit from sponsors wanting to pay you to talk about their goods or services. Affiliate marketing is another method that I've talked about a lot on this channel that you can use to earn passive income. You share links, you register on platforms that offer affiliate marketing like Gopher Global, Amazon, or Impact, which is one affiliate marketing company that allows you to promote several products. You pop the links in your description. When people click them, you earn money. It's as simple as that. Drop shipping is one of my favorite passive income streams. You know why, my rock stars? Because you can sell almost any product without having to manufacture a product, without having to deliver a product, without having to talk to a customer and sit there and earn money by just popping up a photograph, some descriptive words, and a price on an online platform. Whenever that order comes in, the company that you're in partnership for drop shipping, they will prepare the product, ship the product, collect the money on your behalf, and give you the profit after they take out their fees. Now, the fourth step to building wealth from nothing is to create a budget. And I'm just going to send you to watch this video here where I talk through the budget template that I have created and have used effectively over the years. What a budget will do is help you to spend less than you earn and to save at least 15 to 50% of your income, which is going to be critical for you to build wealth from nothing. And if you find that you can't save anything after you have taken out your expenses and you're really doing a good job of managing your money, then you need to go back up to an earlier step that speaks to getting other streams of income. Every single household and individual need a budget. You need to make it a part of your everyday life. And as I shared in this video, you shouldn't just create it. You should go back and update it and see what you said you would have spent and look at what you actually spent and adjust accordingly. Now, the fifth step to building wealth from nothing is critical as well. And it's going to sound a little bit fuzzy because you're going to be saying,
Odetta, what are you talking about? What does that have to do with building wealth?
But you know what, my rock stars, without it, any money that you accumulate, you can be broke thereafter, and we just cannot take that chance. And that step is to have enough insurance. Not only is your insurance a critical item that you should have on your budget, but making sure that you have insurance for yourself and all your major assets sometimes be the differentiator between you being wealthy and being broke. And I'm going to explain that in a few moments. At the minimum, my rock stars, you should at least have health insurance if you have nothing else. And of course, a comprehensive vehicle insurance is important as well. Unless your vehicle doesn't mean anything to you, then you can write it off if it's stolen or if it's damaged. But keep in mind that if it's damaged in an accident, you may end up having to find money to repair the other person's vehicle, or if you're like me, to repair the wall that you keep running into. So in addition to health insurance, if you own a home, you should consider insuring it as well, because the worst thing that can happen is you're on this path to building wealth. You live in your own home, whether it's mortgaged or fully paid, and something destroys your house and now you need to start over from scratch. If you don't have an insurance, you're going to have to go into that money that you've been accumulating on your path to being wealthy in order to replace the house, because you can't live outside now, can you? But if you had home insurance, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Critical illness insurance is another one that I highly recommend. In most cases, it covers you for as much as 12 different critical illnesses, to include cancer, diabetes, or diabetes-related illnesses, or blood pressure, or related illnesses like you getting a stroke that leaves you incapable of working for the rest of your life. If you have critical illness and it is sufficient, you are at least able to offset some of the bills that you're going to incur on your path to healing and being able to put yourself back on that path to becoming wealthy from a state of being broke. Also, insure your children, because God forbid anything happens to them, it's going to be your cost. And encourage your children to insure you as well, and you insure yourself as well, because you don't want your bills to leave them broke and create generational poverty. You see, my rock stars, building wealth is good, but it will be excruciating if you lose that wealth that you're building to unforeseen circumstances. And that is what insurance prevents you from doing. It was the founder of Alibaba, Jack Ma, who said these exact words: buying insurance cannot change your life, but it prevents your life from being changed. Now, the sixth step to building wealth from nothing is to invest. A lot of us are putting our money in a bank and feeling pretty comfortable about it being saved there. I don't know the last time you checked, but money doesn't grow in a bank anymore as it did back in the day when banks really focused on banking. In order for you to achieve tangible return on your investment, you need to invest it. Whether you're investing in real estate, which means that you're buying properties, marking them up and reselling, or you're building and reselling, or you're building and renting, or you're investing in portfolio income like stocks, bonds, index funds, mutual funds, whatever tool you choose, just ensure that your risk appetite is at a level where you don't end up losing everything, but still it's aggressive enough for you to make returns that matter. Now, the seventh step to building wealth from nothing is to create an emergency fund. An emergency fund is like a self-funded version of an insurance. It's the money you put aside for unexpected expenses. For example, your car breaking down, somebody getting sick, and you need to incur some cost related to either hospitalization or them getting treated. Or, for example, if you lost your job during the pandemic and you needed to make ends meet for a while, that's when your emergency fund would kick in. When unexpected expenses or unforeseen circumstances arise, it's a very good time for you to put yourself in debt if you don't have an emergency fund. Because that money, to make things right, it has to come from somewhere. So you're going to end up doing one of two things if you get into a difficult spot where you need access to a few dollars and you don't have an emergency fund. The first thing is you're going to have to borrow money from a bank or a financial institution, or possible from a loan shark with a very high interest rate, or from a relative who is going to annoy the hell out of you until you pay them back that money. The second option is whatever you have invested, whether it's in real estate or it may be in a bond or any other form of investment. When you get into a bind, you're going to have to sell something in order to make ends meet. The issue with that, my rock stars, is how can you be building wealth? Something happens and you have to go back and pull on that money that you're accumulating. You're going to continuously be starting over and you'll never be able to build the kind of wealth that can create major changes in your life. Having an emergency fund will give you that cushion to ensure that you are not indebted when you are in need, because at that time you take on all kind of loans without even thinking, because the urgency is so great. Nor are you selling out your valuable investment. You know how many times I've seen persons lose their job for whatever reason and they end up having to sell a piece of land that was a lot more valuable than what they sold it for, because there was urgency to sell, because they needed to feed themselves and their families. An emergency fund is critical on the path to building wealth from nothing. It is said that an emergency fund should be about 3 to 6 months of your expenses, and that money should be accumulated in a place where you can get easy access to it. For us, we keep our emergency fund in a regular bank account that we can draw down on as is needed. Now, in the same way insurance won't make you wealthy, an emergency fund won't do it either. But you know what, my rock stars? It will prevent you from selling your investments that has the potential to make you wealthy and incurring debt that has the potential to keep you broke whenever there's an emergency. Now, the 8th step to building wealth from nothing is to get a regular income source. You can't be doing odd jobs here and there and thinking it's going to drive to you achieving wealth. You see, my rock stars, it's very hard to build wealth from nothing without a regular income source that has money coming in, whether it's weekly, every 2 weeks, monthly, or worst case scenario, every quarter. You cannot invest without saving money, and you can't save money without a regular income. Whether that income is coming from your 9-to-5 job or your business, the bottom line is it needs to be regular. If you're listening to anyone who is telling you that you can get rich working just 3 hours a week, you need to stop. Because it's not going to happen. That's a side hustle. It will give you a few extra dollars on the side, but it definitely does not have the propensity to build wealth. Sustainable wealth comes from one thing: creating value over the long term. If you are not creating intrinsic value and earning from goods or services, it's going to be impossible for you to build and sustain wealth. So you are either going to get a good job and keep it and then save money, and from your savings you invest, or you're going to start a business that provides a revenue stream that is regular, and then you're going to save from it and invest, because side hustles won't give you the consistency that's necessary for you to build wealth from nothing. Now, the 9th step to building wealth from nothing is to practice extreme savings. Now, it is often recommended that you save 15 to 20% of your income. You need to figure out a way to save at least 50% of what you're earning, which is considered extreme savings, to be able to achieve wealth in your lifetime. And like I said earlier, when you're able to accumulate this money, when it gets to a certain threshold, you need to then take it and invest it in a way where you can make money while you sleep or earn passive income. I've shared many times on this channel that my goal, even when I earned minimum wage, was to figure out a way to save at least 50% of my income. It was the only way I could achieve my goal of retiring financially free at age 45 from my 9-to-5 job. And thank God I was able to do it at age 42. It took a lot of discipline. It took a lot of sacrifice. It took a lot of me staying home when everybody in their 20s were going to parties, when I too was in my 20s. It took a lot of me eating the basic things, which were fairly healthy, when everybody else was going out and eating. And it also required me to sometimes not do a vacation when everybody else was going to Milan and Greece. And you know what, my rock stars? They weren't even earning a quarter of what I was making. But I made the sacrifice then so I can live financially independent now. The choice is yours. Are you gonna use your youth and spend all your money and keep working and then struggle when you get older, when it's time to start relaxing? Or are you gonna make the sacrifices in your youth, practice extreme savings on your path to building wealth from nothing? The choice is really yours. And the final step to building wealth from nothing is to not have a big ego. Here's the thing, my rock stars. You're going to come across many opportunities, and if you're the type of person to look down on certain things, you're not going to pursue those opportunities. So you need to drop that big ego on your path to building wealth from nothing. See an opportunity for exactly what it is, an option to maximize on your earnings. And as long as it is ethical and you're not required to sell your soul, then you should definitely consider doing it, because it's an honest day's pay. My rock stars, we have come to the end of another video. And if you have not yet liked the video, because I know that some of you, despite how many times I tell you, you're still not gonna like, but you know what? Here's another opportunity to do so. And I would appreciate you liking the video. And if you're still here at this time, which means that you are a loyal rock star, I'm gonna ask you to write something in the comments for me. Write in the comments, #NoBigEgo. As always, remember to subscribe, and until next time, walk good.